Hey, how is everybody? We're gonna be going live in a couple of minutes. Shout out Mr. Shiva in the chat. We're just sorting out a couple of things, getting Liam connected and clear. He's coming from a new location today, and after that we shall be going live. It could be another 2 or 3 minutes, so hold tight. Just hold tight, folks. Won't be more than a couple more minutes. Hey, hello, Luke in the chat. How's it going, Luke? Shout out the Hive. Got an announcement at the beginning of this stream. If you want to get ahead of it, then check out patreon.com/FelixUltimate. Got some stuff going on. Alright, I think we have Liam is connected by voice. Hello, Liam.
Hello.
Right. Dom Knight suggests, yeah, embedding my Patreon link into the info of my videos from now on, definitely. Yeah, I'm going to incorporate the Patreon stuff on everything I produce. Some videos will just be available on Patreon. I don't want to overload YouTube as I have been recently. Luke just signed up on the Patreon, awesome. Thank you, man. That's so cool. First patron of the stream. Must be the cat content, yeah. So you got the root here. Liam, say a couple more words and I'll just make sure that the levels are good between us.
Yeah, okay. I can chat for a little bit. I was thinking about some more China stories. And I'm not sure which ones you want me to tell, but I remember the food in China being quite dire, or at least difficult to find food I was willing to eat. I went for a dinner with Nathan Klakovic with a load of Chinese officials, and I really wanted to eat potatoes, and I found what I thought was potatoes, but it was actually fried jellyfish, and it wasn't very tasty. The next thing I tried, which I hoped was potatoes, was this kind of baked flan looking thing, but it was actually fermented crab flan. And it was also awful. And that was kind of what it was like eating in China. It was kind of like a Russian roulette of trying food.
Well, it's not boring, that's for sure. Okay, sweet. Let's get the stream going then. We're all connected. Got everyone ready to go. So, hello everybody. Welcome to the stream. I'm Felix from Felix Ultimate. I am joined by modern day Casanova. It's Liam Grant. Hello, Liam.
Delighted to be on the stream, Felix. How are you getting on?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I just got new internet. We'll see how good it is. Got new internet today as part of my lockdown survival kit. I was kind of piggybacking off some terrible internet for a while, but considered we're all living on our phones now that decided to boost it up.
It's sounding good. I think you were here on Wednesday and it was sounding okay, but now I'd say it's sounding good. So it's a step up. So before we get into today's stream, I've got an exciting announcement. I'm launching the Patreon page, which I have consulted with everybody in the stream to put together. So here is the link. I'll type it into the chat. If you want to get ahead of the game, then visit the page and sign up. I'll show you what it's like on stream here. Where did I put it? Yeah, so here now it is possible to become a patron of Felix Ultimate. Just $1 a month. You get early access to YouTube videos that I upload, and also you'll be part of the Discord community. Now, it's something quite exciting today. After the stream today, we'll hang out for a while and we'll go to Discord and we'll start a live, private live stream for patrons only, and we'll talk more about that later on. But sign up to become a patron now, and then you can be part of that later on. Above the $1 tier, you have this Rue tier, which was suggested at the end of the stream on Wednesday. So definitely agree. This is Liam. You're particularly interested in this, weren't you?
Yeah, I just think people want cat content and are willing to pay for it. So
And it is the internet after all, so gotta have cats all over it. So yeah, that's how you can be closer to the analysis process. There'll be like behind the scenes streams on this, and then there's another tier, the swarm. You can read all about it on the page. I won't go too deep into it. All the info is there. You can read about the about stuff, and on the highest level tier, then you can actually commission me to analyze either yourself playing in a game or your team, or a particular game that you're interested in, and you get a misprint disc and some other perks. Okay, so that is the Patreon page. I'm looking forward to chatting later on, seeing what's going on with it, how many people have signed up, and doing the private stream and hanging out with everyone that wants to do a Patreon. I'm really excited about it. For now, though, we are looking at the second half of Australia versus Japan. Liam, any thoughts about the first half of this game that we watched on Wednesday?
yeah, I just remember being so impressed with Japan's kind of blady throws, their switching on defense, and how the Australians struggle a little bit. I think as we see this game go on, like I think every throw the Australians make, like floaty hucks on offense, they catch. Ones that are thrown inbounds, like Japan can't get a defensive play in the air off an Aussie huck, and you feel like if they just kept throwing them inbounds, the problem was they just threw them out of bounds sometimes. Like how could they have just won the game by doing that, by just sending sky balls? And I admire so much the Japanese offense in contradiction to that. They had to be so accurate with their throws, and they just were. They were just incredibly accurate, blady throws. Didn't give the Australian defenders a chance.
Excellent. Yeah, and the super quick Japanese offense, moving the disc so quickly, changing the angles of attack. I love that when you have contrasting styles in games. You know, it makes it really interesting. Even though we did USA versus Canada in the World's semi, and towards the second half of the game, there's still amazing plays going on, but it's just kind of like, yeah, they're just kind of doing this and doing this. When you got the contrasting styles, it really kind of makes it a lot more interesting.
Yeah, you saw that Cat Phillips play there a little while ago in the highlights, and she's two Japanese defenders around her, and they're just not even close to getting anywhere near where she's getting at her high point. That like is that legitimate strategy for them against the Japanese women next time? Like, she's no separation there when that disc is thrown up. She just put up a sky ball, and like she's like 5-6 inches on them at the high point there. They're getting nowhere near it.
Yeah, well, you play to your strengths, don't you? I mean, that's the nature of any game. And a good game has got many different strategies that can work. So it's really good. Something quickly about the Patreon. Patreon charges you on the first of each month, right, for your tier of subscription or like for whatever you've pledged. And today is the first of the month, right? So today is the best day to sign up because you won't be charged for the next month until 30 days time. If you sign up in 15 days, then you'll basically pay a second thing in 15 days after that. So today is the best day of the month to become a patron. So if you're ever going to do it, then just get involved right now, and you can up to the next tier or whatever if you want to. During the month, when you see kind of how it's going, or you can just modify it as you go. But today's the best day. That's why I'm doing it today. Okay, let's start looking at the second half. So the way that these streams work, for anyone who hasn't tuned in before, is we go through it really slowly. It isn't like a watch party where we just kind of like have it on in the background. We'll watch through each point or up to the stoppage or up to the score, and then I'll rewind and I'll play through it again. And then we'll pick out anything that's kind of interesting to chat about. Liam might tell us a couple of stories from China if we're lucky. And some plays we'll watch like 10 times, because they'll be like going back and forth through the footage. We'll take how long? It'll probably take like an hour and a half at least. And I want to have as much interaction with the chat as well. So me and Liam will both keep our eyes on the chat. Say what you see, ask some questions, get chatting. So kind of like you said, Liam, some of the hucks are just going out the side.
Yeah, it's something they need to practice. Is just throwing them in bounds. That was the out of bounds is their biggest enemy in this game. I think Australia. I think you'll find here it happens. I think once or twice in the game the camera angles gets absolutely wrecked. They're just doing player cam here for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, it's not even player cam, it's sideline cam. And the play's happening right now. There's play happening. Oh, this is so frustrating.
Yeah, it doesn't happen too often.
You can hear.
So I think this is definitely the worst time it happens. And I think it's a Cat Smith D or something that they miss.
Right, okay, because the disc is now gone past halfway. And the last time we saw it, maybe that huck went out at about halfway.
Yeah.
Okay, so the disc goes up the line, and then yeah, it probably leaves the field there, doesn't it? And never comes in. Well, maybe it might have kind of just clipped the side of the pitch and then gone out. Difficult to say. Okay, and then we've got this sideline reaction. It's good to get that whole clapping motion. So Cat Smith D. So you see, then now this is the first frame that we get back, and there's a call, and Cat Smith is over here. So maybe she got like a D on the dump pads or something. Oh no, the disc is down here, and there's a foul called over here.
Yeah. You can almost skip this first 20 seconds. They chat about it now, but we don't really know what happened.
Yeah, contested.
I think Kat speaks like a little bit of Japanese, maybe. She was on the All-Star tour, definitely. A lot of actually Australians speak a little bit of Japanese, which I was impressed with.
Huh. Yeah, Luke says that Patterson throwing in bounds is next level strat. Oh, preemptive layout. I love it. Oh, nice catch.
This is really the Shiori Agawa show. Pretty much this whole game. She's so good in it.
She seems to be excellent, like all over the field.
Yeah.
Okay.
She plays offense and defense.
All right, we're gonna watch this score 3 times, and then we're gonna have a little vote. All right, chat. Are you paying attention? 1, 2. Okay. Now in or out. Press 1. Type 1 if you think it was in. 2 if you think it's out. 3 if you're not going to give an opinion until you see the second angle, because you've been on a Felix Ultimate stream before. So 1 if you think it's in, 2 if you think it's out. All right. Or out as in, I mean, technically you all just said she's out of the field.
Not in.
yeah, out as in.
In or not in.
Luke's not sure you can see from the angle.
This angle you definitely can't see from anyway.
Yeah, you can. I'm pretty sure, right?
That other line is actually I think that's the front of the soccer, the like semicircle of the soccer. So it's not.
So yeah,
definitely it helps.
In terms of lines, let me get my thing so I can draw on the screen. So you can see there's a football penalty box, and in front of that is the end zone line. Okay, so this area in between, like here, is in the end zone. Okay, and this bit here is not in the end zone. All right. So plenty of 2s in the chat. Sergeant Sarge with the early 2. Laptop's gone to sleep. There we go. Dom Knight with 2. Barry Plumpson voting 2. Joe Marmerstein voting 2. Not even close. Not even close. Do you like, in terms of like where that foot that she thinks she's planting is? Then that foot is like in this part here. That's what she's kind of claiming is the in out. But from the replay, And I didn't notice it first time I watched it. But yeah, there's a catch here that is 2 or 3 frames with the foot still on the ground. Yeah, so everyone that said 2, which I'm amazed with absolutely everybody, but good job, chat. I guess you know why I'm asking the question though, don't you? but yeah, good job.
I thought it was in. I thought it was in, definitely on my first look. I just think that she looks so happy as well. It was a good little reenactment that I'm giving it to her. She's so happy. They're all so happy.
Don't ever become a game advisor. That was good. We didn't really analyze that other than just the last thing. So I want to have a bit look at the offense, the way it flows.
I think look at Risa Shimada, I think number 64. I think twice at this point she does that kind of lateral cut just across the field. But it's how they structure their offense quite a lot. She does that and then she gets into power position once that happens. Not quite here. I think she does it again. She just does that flat cut across the front of the handlers.
Yeah, this one.
And they'll put it to her. Yeah. She does it before as well. But it's the second time she does it in this play. But that's like her set move and then shoots the end zone.
It's really powerful position to be in because this is break side, so you're moving directly onto the break side. So all of your hey, got a subscriber. What's that? Arpit Shine, thank you, Arpit. I love that little jingle, so it's always a pleasure when people become subscribers for 2 reasons. Yeah, so this move into the middle, really, really nice because it just opens up that whole, like, you're moving towards like the break space. Yeah, this is the break space over here. So then you have an immediate option to throw to here, but then also if you just turn to the left, you've got the whole end zone. When the force is like this way, then really good to get the disc over to this side because that's the easiest place to attack from. Is that enough drawing on the screen? Do you think? Scribbling all over it.
Okay. Got a question from Ravi Vasudevan asking about the strength of the squad. Yeah, the Japanese men pretty much had none of their older Buzz players at this event. The Japanese woman kind of full strength. I think the big person missing is Kana Kobayashi, who I think just had a wedding at the time, something like that. I'm hoping she'll play Worlds next year if there is a Worlds next year, because I know you're a big fan of her as well, Felix. Kana Kobayashi is probably their best defensive player, I'd say, and just a great player all around. But
yeah, I noticed her offense more, I think, but yeah, all over the field, defense as well. I'm a massive fan.
She was one of their World Games players, as far as I know. So that's shows the caliber of her. So hopefully she'll be there next time, but not missing as much as the Japanese men were.
Okay, I couldn't find the other lateral cut too quick, but I think it's time to move on. I'm sure she'll do it again. She did it earlier on. Was Kaede Yoshida there? Ravi asked.
No, I'm not sure if she was selected. I think she'd be selected this time. She played the beach championship, but she did not play this. She's probably doing something with Riot time.
She normally number 1 or 0.
She normally plays number 1.
Number 1 now.
And that is some big ball offense from Australia, which, as I said, if they threw it in bounds, it usually worked pretty well for them.
Yeah, only just in bounds. So the side stack then to open up a large space on the field. This is classic for countering, Japan, really. Like, you want to play big ultimate. Boom, the big rip. Goes all the way downfield. Because it's so far out, like if that was central, then the Japanese defender's got a much better bid on it. But because it's right down to the side, and it's like fading out as well. Almost. Well. But yeah, got to be careful about how much you attack that so you don't jump out of the field. That'd be a nightmare. Ooh, and then Jimmy Mickle style. Anyone know that reference? It's from the USA.
Yeah. 2016 game, I think it was the Goose Elton. Yeah. Very similar throw.
Yeah. But in with that one he stopped himself from doing the outward pivot. Like, and it's, you know, it's a shorter pass he's receiving, but he basically, like, it looks like he puts his knees under great strain to actually not do this pivot and to just stay facing like across the field. I mean, this is clearly just like a getting the balance thing, so I don't think we should focus on the outward pivot. It's kind of like, yeah, you step there because you're then stepping back onto your pivot and then hitting that. Very nice. It's unfortunate this defender then chooses to double cover. You know, I think she's looking at this player here being like, that's a threat, so I need to stop that. But in reality, you know, you had a defender with a fair bid on that pass here, and that was the open one. And then this defender here can't really leave her and go over to the far side. Okay, I'm learning this video editing, how to make it as smooth as possible. And basically, if I play through it once slow, then it's loaded all the frames, and I can do it nice and fast. And then you can see a bit more of the the flow of the offense, the overview of it. Really nice pass leading out on that far side. And I like turning the shoulders towards the thrower here as well, just keeping that connection open the whole time rather than like planting and turning around the outside. Very nice. Joe Malmsteen said a little while ago, it was a great example of the classic Buzz Bullets reset cut, where they dump on the line and then hit the inside to get a break momentum. Yeah, I think that was the cut we were talking about, right? Or a similar
I think so,
one.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the thumbnail.
I love these big Cat Smith pulls.
Look at the camera work. Just, I mean, it's a nice shot, but you know, I guess if anyone's gonna not be a fan of it, it's the person that wants to break apart the, you know, strategical positioning of the players and stuff in slow-mo replays. So, oh, nice bid. Very quick catch and release. Nice. So it is a very nice shot. That you can see the pull right from the beginning. Let's look at this. Let's look at this pull technique. So it does the crossover step here. So that's like right foot in front, left foot behind. Oh, off the line, Jim Arms is this. Left foot behind, straight arm on the wind up. Now drops the shoulder, gets the other shoulder up and the elbow up a little bit, and then pulls through on the release, bending the arm as pulling through there. Maybe a little bit hyperextended. Bending the arm there, which adds a ton of spin to the disc, and then ripping it. And you see the angle of the shoulders and the core is the same as the angle of the disc, which means that you can transfer the most amount of energy and most efficiently into it.
Yeah, it's definitely a great angle to watch the pull. Cat Smith was voted best hair at London Under-23s, closely followed by Speer Stutz. Both have great hair.
Is Stutz playing in this game? What number?
No. Speer Stutz is a Danish man. But
I'm interested actually if there are any players who are staying up really late to watch this stream. Just let us know in the chat what your number is, what the number of your shirt is. If you're a player in this game and you're in the chat. Flick floats into receiver nicely. It's easier to, yeah. So yeah, Uri said they're at the hammer on that last one across the end zone, but it would have had to be an inside out, and it's just a little too risky as it's harder to read and has to bend. You have to throw like away from where they're looking initially, almost. Okay, let's look at this. So there's a bid here from the D that comes in from the side. So a nice little dump off the line just by double faking that player out. Gets the disc off, looks into the middle, and then that defender comes in. That's the same kind of cut the lateral one. But then this defender comes in, and now really excellent to like catch and then throw so quickly here. One in the chat if you think it's a travel. 2 if you think it's not a travel. And let's say
Yeah, I love
go on.
that lateral cut. I think in like my team pelt, if I did that, they'd give out to me for like running flat across the kind of front of the handlers. But I think it's a really good cut, and I think it's good defensive poach by Australia. Okay, they don't get it, but you should probably try and do stuff like that to try and cut it off. And Japan capitalized well on it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of just variety, variety of angles of cuts. I think this is like actually borderline the travel that should be called, because this back foot here lifts up. If it was just that foot, then I think it's fine. It's douche, and then you can release with this foot down. But the fact that that is way up, it means that basically the angle has changed. So it was like a lateral cut across, and then it went there at the end. That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah, I think she changes momentum slightly to maybe avoid contact, or sees the Aussie defender that she's maybe changes a little bit to avoid that, and that carries her a little bit over. But I probably agree it's probably a travel.
Yeah, I think it comes after that. Just needs a little bit more, like lingering a little bit longer on that last step. So I think that would be actually a justified call, even though it would be outrageous. She turns upfield, but not too bad. Yeah, I mean, when I look at travels, I just look at the ground contacts, and with that one, it was like ground contact. The ground contacts sharply changed if you drew lines between them. But there weren't any defenders close to the throw. Joe Marmstein says. Yeah, but it's a big benefit being able to accelerate out of your throw like that, and if you don't do it, without breaking the rules, then you deserve to have the benefit of it. Oh, the Australian crowd singing "What's in Matilda." Oh, the fake pull, classic. I've seen cameraman be faked out before by like a fake pull, and the camera's like, where did it go?
Take by Bob, snatching on, swinging to Ian Griffiths, finds Sprague. I want Sprague to just send it. She's had beautiful.
I feel like from this point on, the objective for Japan is not let them huck it, as you see them go up there.
Right, yeah. The commentator actually said that she just wants to see them lash it deep. Maybe not in those words, but like the person got it, like, oh, I'd just love to see us throw it to the end zone, and then she just did. So it looks like they're moving over for another side stack. Steps out to try and break that force. Throws across. Oh, nice stretching left-handed catch. Manages to not travel. Fakes down the line, faking out the mark. Dumps backwards off the line. Good like slash cut, almost continuation, but the defense is on it. And then down the line again, little round in the corner travel, not too bad. And then lashing it deep. Let's just see whether there's a... Not too bad. And then, yeah, you can see like not throwing too much separation. In fact, the Japanese player is deeper than the Australian player here. But the Australian player has a better read. Daniel Alexander with the read and going up early. I think the Japanese player like hesitates a little bit. Yeah. There's just like one misstep, so it's probably like maybe she wasn't looking at the throw as it's thrown up. So yeah, quite simple offense from the Australians. See all the players running off downfield there, and then 1, 2, 3, and then throw to the end zone. So you think the Japanese strategy changed after this?
Yeah, I think they just got more and more worried about the deep hook and just try to force them to do anything else. But every time they actually managed to throw that throw, they scored. But it's maybe a good strategy for European teams scouting Japan for next year. I think the Japanese men it won't work because they literally have one guy, Andy Kaneda, is like 6'2", and he actually skies a pack of Aussies in the men's final. And the Japanese women just don't have anyone of that stature now. They can jump for sure, but
So I
they
guess
can only jump so high.
the Australian defense must be forcing them deep then as well, stopping these short underpasses if they can. They did clam around that stack and have a deep poach in the first half, but there's no stack now. I can't quite see what's off the edge of the screen, unfortunately, with a lot of this. I was confused then. I heard the crowd made a noise. I looked away because I thought I'd missed something. But then the thing happened, so it was weird. That's great. That is a great catch.
Just how accurate their throws are is terrifying at times. Like I could just never see myself executing a throw like that consistently.
I like this little movement. Like, so she's going up the line, but as soon as she realised the defender's committed, she just puts her arms out, and she's still actually moving in this direction when she puts her arms out, and it's just like, yeah, I'm free now, and she is. But it's just that early communication and not cutting, not faking, not cutting if you don't need to. So good efficiency. That's a nice stretch and catch. I'll just lose the footing a bit. Take the deep, looking downfield quite hard here. So like facing kind of like this way, right? So that's kind of her field of vision. Whereas because she's near the sideline, that means that all this is like wasted field vision stuff. I'd probably encourage players to face more infield, if not, like directly infield like this, because you're definitely going to see if someone's cutting over here. So then the dump kind of moves to get into her vision. Although that's kind of probably where the dump is in the system anyway. Oh, this is a nice catch. Yeah, I like the clap catch. I like going to ground with clap catches, just to kind of make it safe. Did she get fouled on the mark? Is that what the crowd were talking about? Yeah, they get their legs tangled up a little bit. Bit of a inside look there, moving the disc across. The field tends to open up when you string together quick passes like that, I found. So yeah, the flow stops here when she's looking downfield here. Dump and lay out a catch, so the flow stops again because it was a hard catch. And then this is like one of the crucial moments, right? Number 13, which is Sayori getting the disc on the side here, and then just not wasting any time to actually just throw to the open pass. No stopping and turning and looking downfield. So then it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, goal. Yeah. So flow is like initiated by that crossfield look, and it results in the goal.
Yeah, I think as a defender, if the disc is always moving, you often get caught out in the wrong position. You're kind of always having to look at the player and then look back to see where the disc is. And quite often, if you move the disc quickly, you get caught out of position. Not sure if that's what happened there, but I think that's why you should try and move the disc quickly if possible.
Yeah. We saw it in the first half actually. Someone had really good position. The disc was passed once, and then suddenly it was like they're in the worst position. Just because the angle has changed. Looks like Japan coming with a zone. Neutralize the side stack. Australia swing it across and back.
think this is just objective. Try and stop the huck. Try and force them almost half field, or to give them these shorter passes.
Movement here.
Yeah.
Ryan.
Well, they're taking them very well.
Generally not one to shoot. Phillips though not afraid to shoot.
What colour would the chat say that the names are in the chat today?
Back to Egan Griffiths.
It's definitely on the blue side of the spectrum.
And you can see they're not putting a huge amount of pressure on the disc. Almost playing half-court defense. Want to try and take away the deep options.
I got a rule in the WFDF rules. I got a Liam Grant rule.
Oh yeah.
Do you know about this?
Cutting out the field. But
It's for like color blindness. It hadn't specified in the rules that you need a white jersey or one that allows for color blindedness. And I brought that up to Ruben Berg, and it's now in the rules, in the latest edition of the rules, that I can't remember the exact wording, but basically you have to, for WFT events, have colored jerseys that would allow for people with color blindness. So couldn't have, let's say, just like a red and a green. You should
Yeah.
have at least a white or something that is suitable for people with color blindness, because I think it's 1 in 14 people who are born male are colorblind,
Okay.
and I think it's like
That's
1
quite a
in
high
200
number.
women. It is. I'd say most ultimate teams, or men's or mixed, whatever, have a colorblind player. It's less common in people who are born a woman, but yeah,
It's predominantly
That's a
red green, isn't it? The colorblind.
predominantly. I think blue comes in for some people. It is predominantly red green. I think there's the orange and brown and stuff factor in there, but if you're getting jerseys, just have a white. Just have a white jersey and whatever color you want. Have 3 colors if you want, but don't just have red and green.
Everyone spends £200 on their kit every year.
Yeah.
It's nice. It's nice working through this zone like this. Yeah, I saw a photo of emo when they had blue and red tops, and they made it grayscale, and you couldn't tell the difference. But blue and red isn't very common color blindness. I think it's quite specific, isn't it? The 1 in 14, most of them will be a very specific 2 colors or whatever. They can't distinguish between. I don't know. I don't actually know, so I don't want to just randomly make stuff up. But I think so. That's very nice. Okay, that's cool. You brought that up with Rubenberg and got a new rule in. I think the only change. Well, actually, that's not true. I was part of making the indoor rules, so a lot of the indoor pool rules and stuff are. Well, I was in the small committee that was writing them, but Heidelberg, I think they added something to the use of technology after Heidelberg, and I don't think it was particularly. Well, we ended up arguing with the game advisors basically because they thought they should have the best perspective on the play, and we thought the camera should have the best perspective because the players could then look at the cameras afterwards. So, a lot of the game advisors with observer kind of background weren't big fans of that idea, let's say. And now the rules are something weird, where you're only allowed to say that you've seen the footage if you think that your team is in the wrong or something.
Yeah, it's only to the detriment of your own team.
Yeah, I don't think that's right. I think you need to trust players. You need to trust that they're going to make the right calls because it is a self-refereed sport. And so if you take that away, then it just becomes super weird, and then people just aren't trusting each other by default. So I think they just made a bit of a mistake implementing the rule when under pressure, or writing the new rule on use of technology. I think we'll see that change soon. I hope. Well, maybe I should talk to you about it, Liam.
I think it's enough chat about that. Let's analyze this. I think 2 good points here in a row from both teams of zone offense, just moving the disc quickly.
Yeah, it is. It's a nice cross-field flick there to find the space. So, yeah, like Australia have got more players near the disc, which makes sense for their zone because they kind of want the disc to be thrown deeper. whereas Japan seem to have less players near the disc and more players deep because they want the short passes to be used instead. Very nice quick catch and throw.
So quick, waste no time.
And like that's really good, like definitely not even looking like travelling. Catching, and then you see the footfalls. They get really small. Yeah, and then the disc is long gone by that point.
So quick, waste no
Really good. John says, what do I think about the deeps positioning before the blade goes up? So this is where the blade goes up. I can't see the deeps positioning. Only got a quick look that feels like she could have been more aggressive. Is that Michaela here?
Yeah.
Well, she's got a player here to worry about. So if she commits in to try and stop this blade, then she has to get it, otherwise it's a score. And it doesn't look like maybe she probably wasn't in the position to be able to get a bid on that. I mean, it's tricky because when the disc is over this side, as a deep, you're normally on the same side as the disc because that's the quickest route to the end zone almost, or where they're more likely to be looking, and then quickly to the middle and then across. Yeah, you're not expecting to guard against that just a few seconds previously. So those are my thoughts on it.
I think the Australian zone or cup people at the front could have got a lot tighter and almost be like a 4-person cup or something like that and be super aggressive. I think at times they were, but maybe got stretched out a bit. But
good, yeah, it's going a bit jerky. Yeah, okay. So yeah, you think they could be tighter?
yeah, have you ever seen that free speed 4-person cup they do where everyone was attempting to be within 3 meters of the disc, you know what I mean, or just on the boundaries of double teaming, and I suppose they throw the blade over the top anyway, but maybe they could be more in the lane that make them throw it higher.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I mean, but they are forcing a hammer and they're forcing a blade.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not. You could still view that as a successful defense, I think.
Yeah, I think both the last 2 points as well, where the Japanese can have his own, both were good offense and good defense, but as you like to say, good offense beats good defense.
Looks like I've. Oh no, we did see the replay. Okay, so out of bounds ball. Yeah, offense has the advantage. So, yeah, good offense should beat good defense over the course of the game, at least.
Finds Bub. Huge fakes from Bub, the American. Phillips.
Yeah, I believe Bob played with
So
nylon.
Japan not coming out with the zone this time. I mean, Australia did work it really nicely through the last point.
Moving down under.
Yeah, you can see the other handler mark though goes straight into the lane. They're not
Yeah,
giving them the swing most of the time.
yeah, she like stays here as well.
Safe open option. Gets it to you. Looks for that reset down the
And
line.
quite often they'll stand deep then and try and beat you in a foot race
Sends it down
under.
the line.
Ooh, good bid.
Master in chess. Went to Princeton University. Actually follow her Instagram.
Trading edge here with the right hand. You know, I think if you twist and the disc is coming into your left hand there. In the air when they make the catch, and out of bounds when they leave the ground. Looks like foot comes down inside the football penalty box though, so you know, inside one of the lines.
I like trailing edge catches more. Like I'd way prefer to go my right hand there than my left. I feel I can almost match the speed with my hand.
Yeah,
My right hand is like whip behind it. While I feel left hand, like it almost, if it's coming at you hard, almost bounces out. You
yeah,
can't really. That's me. Like if it's the other way around, I'd go left hand on the other side. Like if you merit it, that's just the way I prefer to catch.
right. And it depends which way the disc spinning as well. I think for a like outside in disc, then it would potentially be like bouncing out of the left hand there. Whereas then when you've got the right hand going towards the back of the disc, then that that part of the disc is actually like spinning towards that right hand.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially one that you're like chasing down like that. What do we think in the chat? Would you go left hand or right hand for this this bid? I mean, would you change what you say because of the footwork that's needed on this one? Do you think? I think that comes into it.
Yeah. I think it's preference which foot you like to toe, or I think you could toe with either foot there and either go either hand, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to think about those things when the disc is in the air. You kind of just do whatever's natural for you.
Noah and Nero would go with the right hand. Joe Malmsteen usually left, but agreed it might be easier to toe with the right. Oh, here's a good angle. I like looking at this angle. I'd be tempted to like duck down and then like plant my left foot on the ground and then drag it as I like went like with the thumb down right hand bid on it. Maybe my mind has just been twisted inside out. Yeah, I'd want to be planting my left foot and then like reaching up and out to get it and getting my body lower than the disc. Just from that angle, it made me feel like it. Oh, another one of these player cams whilst the disc is live.
I feel like if the field was maybe 20 yards wider, Australia would have won this game.
Yeah. No spoilers, but they have just gone out the side a couple of times. Yeah, Luke says it's a crazy hard catch, no matter how you do it. Yes, very very true. Like, yeah, if that had been caught in, it would have been absolutely spectacular. Just a misthrow here. Picks up, breaks the force around. That's a killer break. Yeah, nice. And the cut was brave as well. It's just like she's free over here, and it's just attack the defender. Like, okay, yeah, she's actually going for it. And then the around break to the front corner should always be a goal. Really, like you can't expect the downfield to defend that as well as like what's open over here.
I think that's Georgia Egan Griffiths with the throw. I think it's her only assist of the game. I feel like she could have been more aggressive with her throwing, and she's one of the kind of better throwers and maybe was reluctant to throw those 50-50 balls, but she's actually a really, really good player. I think they call her Geg, Georgia Egan Griffiths, GEG.
Okay. Foul on the mark. It's kind of aqua blue, isn't it? Such an upline cut to the break side is pretty weird to commit to. Says there, yeah, potentially. Like, you got to be brave, don't you? To insane. Backwards layout.
I love Shiori. She's just so good. She just does stuff like that every single game. What a legend. You get a weird kind of camera angle for it. Oh, so good.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. Fakey. Shiori, downfield, fly stops, comes back. And then she's like sets off here. She actually, I think she's gesticulating there for people to come under. Yeah, like flapping her hands.
Maybe she's just saying the person behind her, see you later. She's waving. Oh.
So hard, isn't it? Like, I have to look up over that shoulder and then it's like, oh, it's over there. Plant. and then Cat's just full Cat. Cat Smith gets it.
Yeah, steals it right out of Cat Smith's breadbasket. They're teammates for the AO All-Star Tour. Brave bit as well.
Yeah. I like the way she like jumps into it as well. You know, it's not like, I wouldn't say this is like a full like layout, but it's kind of like, it's the safest way to do it as well. But it's also, it is high and out to the side. So she like jumps, gets it, pulls arms out of the way, and then it comes down, just leaves the feet in the air. Excellent catch.
Smith, that crazy trailing edge diving grab. She's having a birthday to remember so far.
You keeping up with the chat, Liam?
Yeah, I just saw Ravi there asking about distance from the mark. I agree with him as well. I think at times you're better off. You're less likely to get broken badly standing a little bit off the mark. That's my opinion on it, or at least the throw has to kind of be more around. I think it was that Georgia Egan Griffith throw where they got hurt badly by that kind of flat break throw.
Yeah. So with the force hand, I'm going to draw something out on the previous thing we had here. I think what you're saying is kind of right. Like when the force is further away. So with this tight force here, kind of I see this whole space here as being like breakable, you know, with like a good step out. All right, but if the defender had like stepped off to here, then what I'd basically see is a much smaller, tighter area, which is far less likely to be thrown to, right? So it like almost concentrates your efforts. So you got a larger impact, like on more angles if you stand closer, but there's overall like a higher chance that you're going to be broken in any of those places. Whereas if you stand off, then you have a smaller angle, more acute angle that you're blocking off, but there's a higher chance that you're going to stop the throw from going there.
Yeah, was it the Ben Wiggins used to have that kind of triangle mark where you'd come in quite tight, make someone pivot, and then step back off? And I think actually quite changing from being close to tight during the 10 seconds, or from being tight to far away, actually confuses throwers sometimes. It's a good way to actually move in and move out a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and it gives you purchase as well. You know, if you're changing how you're marking, you know, then it kind of keeps you dynamic with what you're taking away, what you're pressurizing, and then they have to be dynamic as well, rather than being like a blank slate. You know, because as we always say, you know, offense has the advantage, so then they're able to then work with a blank slate. Are you making the angle larger, Luke? Asks the throwing, and put their arm. Right, if they break you, they've broken you anywhere. If you're close. But you know, if they go for like a wider shot, you can get a bid on that. Whereas if they go for the wider shot and you're really far away from them or just further away, then you don't have much of a bid on it. Is what I'm saying. Better to pressure hucks, easier to defend, give go cuts. So maybe, do you think Joe's saying it's better to having a tight force is better for pressuring hucks, or a loose force?
I think it hurts your ability to pivot out in nearly in all directions. David Amori is a man that loves a good tight force, and I've been ranked by him lots of times. I think it kind of hinders your ability to pivot, maybe forward or out or around. That's where I think it puts maybe more pressure on you in terms of this almost someone half leaning on you. That's kind of hard to pivot and adjust your body around them. But no, I think they're valid points to what Joel's making.
Yeah. Cool. We're going to go on to the next point. Joe agrees that people in general mark too closely. Yeah, I also think there's more emphasis put on the mark than there should be. The mark can be really good for making everything harder for the offense. But
They've got Phillips streaking in the
you will get
midfield. He's
broken.
gonna shoot it!
You know, you can't rely on the force
Got
as
Perkins on
much
the
as.
receiving end. And this time,
This is debatable.
oh, I got excited. Again, I think that those soccer lines are throwing them off.
So there's discussion. Okay, 1 if you think it's in, 2 if you think it's out. We'll do it. We'll do the thing where we do it just from one angle, and then we'll have the surprise angle afterwards. Sorry, chat, but I'm gonna make it a bit entertaining.
Got Perkins on the receiving end.
So that's once.
On the receiving end.
That's twice.
Perkins on the receiving end.
Thoughts? 1 if it's. What did I say? 1 if it's out. Is that what I said? I think so.
I can't remember. You need consistency with your 1s and 2s.
I do, yeah, I do. Right, 1 if it's out, 2 if it's in. Dom thinks it's in. Ravi thinks it's out. Noah thinks it's out. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, I said 1 in. Oh, damn it. Okay, bro. Okay, I'm saying 1 out now. I'm saying 1 out now.
How about just say in or out? It's like another character or 2 characters on your keyboard.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Now it's all a mess. Yeah. Okay, right. Okay, now it's nice and now it's nice. Okay, in. Yeah, brilliant. So easy. Okay, here we go. We're gonna find out. We got most people think it's in. Dun 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 dun. And she lands with the right foot first, which is out of bounds.
Had she caught it before she lifted her left foot? What's the point of catch there again?
That is a good question. I don't know if she's got control of it in the second frame here, but I think her foot might be up, and then her foot. Oh, the next frame is just like a blur. Okay, and then the foot's definitely up, and I don't know. Look, it looks like her fingers are still. It's hard to say whether she's got like clean control of it there. I'd say it's not in the hands, but it's close. It could be, you know, it could be. I'm 75% sure that's not in the hands, but with regard to this foot, I can see those pixels there, and those are the line, right? So I'm like 85% sure that foot is outside, or maybe 90% sure. Probably more than that. And I'm 95% sure that foot is outside, and I'm 75% sure that she is in the air when she catches it. Maybe even more than that, 80%. Hard to say. Hard to see if her foot's on the line from that angle. Says Ravi. So let's see this angle again. Yeah, I mean you can't even see the line now. But I think the fact that she then dinks down this other toe means that she kind of maybe thinks that is the first point of contact, or maybe that's what the argument is. And then there's like dink. No, you can't see whether that second one is in or out. I'm assuming the second one's in. Harder still from the second angle. Right foot is out, Harry would say. Depends on the point of control, right? Yeah, that is definitely an important factor. So they discuss it for a while and then send it back.
I think sending it back is maybe fair in this instance. Or I'm not surprised it was sent back anyway.
Right. I mean, I'd like something like this, which it depends on the discussion. You know, it depends on why they disagree, because you know if the Australian players like, oh, I don't know, and the Japanese players, oh, well, you're definitely out, and the Australian ones, well, I don't know, so I'll send it back, then that's obviously not good. But if the Australian player says, oh, I caught it before I jumped out, then it'd be like, oh, okay. But if the Australian player says, no, I toed my left foot down and in, and the Japanese player's like, you definitely landed on your right foot first, you know, then it's a shame that they can't agree. If you you can't tell from a frame-by-frame video with various angles, then it should probably go back. Yeah, but I'm saying I can tell from the frame-by-frame video. I think that wasn't too close. Like, unless she really thought that her foot was down when she caught it. Yeah, okay. Alright, anyway, let's move on. Yeah, it's a fair point, Luke. Florian says... Oh, I don't even want to repeat that. I don't like that attitude. I don't know why I rewound that, sorry. Okay, let's play. Michaela Dunmore with the score. Oh, sorry, getting double audio. Okay, so Japan was doing 1-to-1, and it's quite a long offense, but yeah, there was that call. And then Cat Phillips with the flick. You see the Japanese defender here is in the space and then gets pulled out by that cut and then wants to kind of stay there. And Michaela just kind of powers past. Almost like a pick here on the beginning of the cut. Yeah. Yeah, good timing, good first step. Maybe just Japanese players slightly out of position. Maybe it's related to those players running through. Okay, next point. Unless you have any insights on that one, Liam, that I haven't seen.
No, not really. I just do you remember Michaela Dunmore flipping off the crowd in Washington DC? That's one of my all-time favorite moments.
Yeah, that was like the double bird, wasn't it?
Yeah. Not a WFDF hand signal. The crowd deserved it though. Someone was heckling her and she gave her a piece of her mind. Fair play to her.
Yeah. I think on the video you can't see her hands because the frame is so tight, and she just lifts her hands up off the screen. So it looks innocent enough on the live stream, but yeah, we all saw it. There's a really nice good go here. Right at the beginning, it comes back. Oh, it's a throwing go. This is a nice move immediately, just to kind of get the distance position. But then being able to release quickly here. Travel or no travel? I think that's really good not traveling. Like, point of catch. This, like, feet are in the air and point of catch. Ground contact. Ground contact. That's quite a big step. And then the next one's really small. Oh. Yeah, I think the release comes before that foot comes up, but it's close. It's closer than I thought, because that last step is then bigger than the previous one, right? Which means that would be acceleration. But I think the disc comes out of the hand before. No travel, says Ravi. No travel. Decelerates, no travel. Dom Knight as well. Was that a junk transition or just missed coverage? I've got a feeling it would just be like players out of position due to the quick movement at the back. Yeah, it looks like everyone's 1-to-1. Cat Smith over here, Smolfman over here. Although blown coverage, 2 versus 1 over here. Yeah, she's like marked up, and then suddenly she's got 2 people on her. And then this player then goes over and finds the free player over here, comes over, seals the throwing lane, before just running. So like it, you know, you'd by default when you're trying to find your person, you like run towards them, right? But because this is the break side over here, this is the break side, that wavy C-like break, then she moves across this way to stop the break throw, and then goes down the break channel to get the force on. I think that's called sealing the mark. Let's see, and then it comes in. Stretching left hand high catch. It's really difficult. Great balance. I like that. I like that immediate look after getting up, just like ready.
One-handed footy slide for good measure.
Yeah, Risa just having outstanding aim. So many players on this Japanese team have just been incredibly solid.
Nice. Let's see where this cut comes from.
It's that little banana cut again. That's Risa Shimada, and then it's Yuko Suzuki is 64. I think they're the two best for Japan.
The two best.
I think so. I think Shiori Ogawa and Kana Kobayashi are up there as well, but I think the best two are 77 and 64. Or at least when I wrote my articles for Ultiworld of the best players in Asia, I put them up there. They actually, I think both of them played 2012 World Championship and won gold medals, beat USA back in 2012 Japan.
That's what the cut kind of looks like.
Banana. Can you just put a banana?
Yeah, when I hear banana cut, I think of a less effective cut. You know, one where the defender's with you and you're just trying to lose them by like bending round. I think it's a bit more like a boomerang cut for me.
I was thinking boomerang.
Yeah, ironically enough, yeah. And I think it works particularly well because defender here is caught face marking. Yeah, it doesn't know where the disc is. So basically, as a defender here, you're still playing defense at this moment as if the disc is there. And so therefore the threat is in front of the disc over here. But because the angle has changed and the defender hasn't realized yet, then suddenly the whole situation on the field has changed. But yeah, very, very efficient. By Risa, right? Shimada Risa. Shimada Risa, yeah. Excellent timing on the cut and awareness to punish. She's the top statter for Japan in this game, 4 goals and 2 assists. S cut is the best cut, says James Greeno. These cuts do have a sharp change of direction, it's just an acute angle. Yeah, it's like a boomerang, right? Joe says maybe it's called an S cut.
Great take there by Felix. Has 2 options for the swing. Ryan takes it though. Arches round to E and Griffiths are too far out of.
There's somebody who'll be needing a physical therapist rather shortly. Andy Fung. Ogawa with the disc now. Thinks about the deep shot.
Right, I'll look at that turn and this turn. That's just a missed throw. And then the previous turn, let's have a look. Brings the disc back to the line. Swings it across. Where does that cut come from? From over here. Moves into the middle. Bends, cuts. Oh, there's a switch between the Japanese defenders there. But like, still manages to get free over there. And then it's just an overthrow. And I think we've seen there's Egan Griffiths for Australia here. I think we've seen her make a lot of like full stretch left hand trailing edge catches in this game already. But this one's just a little bit too far. And then Japan get a few passes together and then just throw it out the side. It's too much.
Breaks after this. Get a clutch the game. Even Griffiths. O'Neill.
So if you missed at the beginning of the stream,
One-handed take by Ryan.
I've launched my Patreon page today. Patreon.com/FelixUltimate.
Oh, a fantastic save there by Felix.
And today's the best day to sign up because it's the first of the month, so you won't get billed for the next month until 30 days time. Uh-oh, there's someone. Uh-oh, there's someone next to the camera. Oh, good cut there from the producer. Normally it's the players who compliment their cut, but now it's the producer who's like, okay, right, we've got to get a second angle to get the score. They only lose the disc for like 3 frames. Got to count those frames, but the disc is out of shot. Yeah, Felix Ultimate on a Patreon. We're going to be having a behind the scenes stream at the end of this stream. What we do in that stream, whether we look at Noah Brinkworth's new work that I'm going to be editing together, or whether we look at the Buzz versus Ironside footage, which I'm going to be covering with Florian next week, or whether we just hang out and get a reel on the stream, maybe play with some string. That's a decision which will be made by the patrons at the end of this stream. So we'll have a little, we'll take suggestions and we'll have a vote, and then just have a fun behind the scenes stream afterwards. I'm looking forward to it. But that's going to be patrons only. Even if it's just $1 a month, then you'll be part of the crew. Okay. I've noticed that there's this sidearm technique stands out to me a bit, but I don't know if I'm ready to like properly break it down. It seems to be a bit like leany. Like, so even though this disc is outside in, the lean is almost like inside out lean, you know? Like the core does not line up with the angle of the disc like it did with the pull that we looked at earlier, which normally means that there's just slight inefficiency, and that's maybe through the bend in the arm here, but then there's other stuff in the shoulder that can help that. So like I say, I'm not ready to fully break down that throw yet. It's an interesting one hitting this player here, right? He's got all that separation and then just ignores the fact that there's other people in the middle, basically. Goes through that gap. It's threading a needle. And then it looks like there's collision between this Australian player and this defender.
I think they showed a replay of the other angle at some stage.
Yeah, you'd hope so, but I'm pretty sure this is the replay of the same angle. Yeah. Oh, here, yeah, but you can see it clearer in here. Yeah, good shout. Oh, so close, and you see she has to like start pulling out of it because there's that player there. But then the Australian player is also kind of going for the catch here. Oof. Good concentration to catch that with like 2 people, hands going towards it. Keeping eyes on the disc.
The 2 other players both kind of had to pull out because it would have been a dangerous play. I know they kind of ended up colliding anyway. I don't think it's either of them were running into each other, but both kind of half pull out, and nothing is called. It's fair.
I think Yuri here for Japan actually touches the disc. Yeah, I think Yuri touches it. That's how close it was. Era says that it looks like her legs touch and wants to step around the defender. I can pretty much guarantee Catfooter's legs aren't tied at the end of any tournament. But yeah, it's not really like a big pivot. It's the lean that stands out to me, but we can talk about that another time.
Of the Japanese O-line now. 2 nations hold their breath as it goes down to the wire here in the women's final. The devastation for one team.
That's not actually a clickable link, is it?
For another. Japan playing with the same confidence and swagger they have.
Is that clickable? Yeah, there you go, that's clickable. Oh, I put a hashtag at the end. So I'm struggling to promote my Patreon at the same time as do the stream. Right, that works. That link works. Nice throw. Oh, the catch. Awesome.
Yeah, so epic. They're so much fun to watch, the Japanese women, just how expressive they are.
Watch. Wow. That's the best camera work I've ever seen. Nice throw. It's just the right angle on it. It's like kind of inside out, but then fading slightly outside in. Really nice, perfectly flat. Great bid from the D. Yeah, great catch from Yuko. Awesome. Let's have a look at this point in a bit more detail.
Yeah, I think in the status points, look how many lateral cuts it is Suzuki and Shimada make. Shimada Risa. They say their names backwards in Japan. I was going to mix it up.
Oh, okay. What numbers are we looking at?
It's 64 and 77. I think just downfield, just how many times people run laterally across. I think it's just in contrast to what you see it there in like European Ultimate or American Ultimate. That just doesn't happen very often.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they actually throw it to them very often, but there's just a lot of flat cuts across the front of the handlers.
That's where the deep cut comes from there. But yeah, it is a lateral cut that kind of opens it up, right? They're coming from this side, they're slashing across. Yeah, just very happy to take those lateral ones. Turning inside because the disc was on the inside of the. Oh, the force slips as well. You see that?
Yeah.
Unfortunate. Samuel John says he has to lean into his sidearms because his wrist's inflexible. Oh, yeah, interesting. So for me, if you lean into an inside-outside arm, then you don't need to bend your elbow or wrist or anything. You can just like whip through it with your core. It's a really good catch as well, like with the defender closing in. Ah, defender gets so closed off so well. Hat comes off because of the speed. Ah, and then just like I think maybe slight adjustment at the end because Suzuki's gone for the good angle to get the catch.
Do you need that wind resistance from the hat factored in?
Yeah, definitely.
Slowed it down.
Definitely. And then pop off it comes. Nice. I mean that's a good way to end a championship, isn't it?
Yeah, and she's kind of one of the veteran players, and so happy for her.
I think she's smiling when she catches it.
They're always smiling. Japanese people are just constantly smiling. It's so rare you see them not.
Yeah, that was in the smile here.
Well, she's celebrating the girl before she even caught it. The one in the background's like turning around and like claiming it.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, she doesn't need to see the catch. She turns like there, and then the catch happens. She's already planning the celebration, probably.
Yeah. The Japanese men in the open final of this tournament, they have some top-notch celebrations as well. Completely different, all kind of funny ones. They do like their Daryl Stanley binoculars kind of thing and all that stuff. It's really good.
When are we going to look at that game?
Oh yeah, I'll do it whenever. Because I remember you asked me which one to choose between the women's or I guess it was called the men's final, now the open final. But I really enjoyed both of those games. I think I think Australia Japan is always a great game just because there's such contrasting styles. But yeah, anytime you want to do another game, I'm pretty bored right now.
Well, we got Florian lined up for next week, and who am I chatting to? Ravi. I'm chatting to Ravi as well. He's keen to do one.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm keen to get you back. I'm gonna put some polls up because I quite like the person that's doing the commentary with me to choose the game, but I also like engaging the community. So I might get the community to choose who comes on, or to choose a game, and then I'm like, right, that's one that this person wanted to do. Maybe we'll involve patrons with that as well.
Yeah, you should let patrons choose what games to do.
Shouldn't I? Okay. All right, patrons. Let's waste the camera.
I love watching the highlights of Shiori and everyone. Look at them waving at the camera. So good.
Okay, we're going to move to Discord. Noah, if you're able to give me a hand and maybe send out the link to the Discord, or if you're not here, I can probably alt tab and find it. But yeah, I think if put the link to the Discord in the chat, and then inside the Discord there's like special rooms for patrons, and that's where we'll announce where we're going to continue with the private stream. Hey, got a subscriber, Samuel John. Thank you. Thanks for subscribing, man. I appreciate it. All right, some dancing from the Australians, some flossing, in fact. Excellent. Yeah. So, what's your like strategical summary of the second half in relation to the first? If you have one,
I think
very hard question.
Yeah, it is. Well, I think at the start of the game, Australia aren't just hooking and hoping, and that's when they go down. I think they go down like 4-2 or 4-1. They give up most of the breaks in the start of the first half, trying to play normal offense against, I think, the Japanese women, and just doesn't work out. And then as the game goes on, they just start hooking and hoping and come down with every single one. Like any one of those sky balls where it's inbounds that they throw, they catch. Now, obviously, in defense, they end up not making enough defensive plays just because how accurate the throws are for Japan. But yeah, like they should have done that earlier. Australia should have skyballed it inbounds every offensive point, probably. That's what I feel like. Looking back on it, worked every time they threw it in bounds. Maybe throwing in bounds is harder than we think.
And they because they had a big comeback, really, didn't they? Like they were more points down. And then they had a comeback to get closer to the end.
Yeah, I don't think that's how many breaks to have in the game. 1, 2, maybe. It's not enough. I think Japan are just elite throwers. That needs to be said. Like, not everyone in Australia can throw a flick hook like that game-winning throw. Well, I feel like everyone on the roster for Japan has that level of throwing. And better defense. I think maybe just switching, being more aware in defense. You saw that one goal where the Australian defender was completely caught face guarding, and they maybe do that too much. That's a heartbreaking shot of the Australian women.
Fast forward past that.
No, I love that. I think it's so like it's poetry, it's art. Seeing the contrast of people having such good joy and then other people upset. It's all part of sport.
There we go. I'll show it for you then. How many times have you cried after playing, if you have?
I don't think I've ever. Oh, once. I single-handedly lost this Irish Nationals before.
Oh no.
I got subbed on Universe Point. I'd played a great game as well, or at least better than most of us. I got subbed on Universe Point, got a D on the first pass, and then threw a turnover at next one, and then got burnt up line in like the space of like 10 seconds.
Oh
It
no.
was yeah.
But you
We
got
went
the,
on to win
you got
3
the
more.
D.
Yeah, I got subbed on. I was like 20 yards short of a guy deep. Got subbed on Universe Point at Nationals the final, and they threw it short, and I got it, and then I turned it over, and we lost the game. I think that was the only time I've actually. I don't know if I really cried. I remember throwing my medal out the window though, or silver medal of the car. Apologies for littering in Ireland, but I think we all did. Nobody was
Really?
too happy with the silver medal that year. Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
we'd beaten the team in the group stages. I don't know, like 15-7 or 8. It was,
Really?
yeah. It's made me a better person. So, for all the
Yeah.
Australian women that were upset there, you got to lose some finals to appreciate winning them.
Wise words from Liam Grant. It's been a pleasure, Liam, having you on the stream. I hope that it's not too long until you're back with us.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed looking at your stuff. I'm excited to see what parts you'll break down. Maybe if anyone hasn't seen that Shiori play, I think you cut out. Go check that out. But yeah, thanks for all your analysis stuff. I'm glad to be on the stream. I'll let you go chat with the crew on Discord.
Come join us. Come join us. All right, cool. Thanks, Liam. And
right.
yeah, we'll see you again in a few weeks.
See you, mate.
All right, everybody. I've got some new. I can change the camera angles a little bit basically here. So what I'm going to do is get this up. Okay, so now like big shot of me, and you can see what's on my computer screen here. And then you can see the chat is still there. Cool. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We're going to go to patron only private live stream now. So if you have not become a patron yet, here is no, I need to make it big again. Here is the patron page, and it's patreon.com/FelixUltimate. Noah, I think I sent you a link for the Discord in WhatsApp. I'm not set up to paste it in the chat at the moment, unfortunately. Yeah, so you click on join for just the 1 month, and then what do you have to do? You sign up, and you put in your or if you're already a member of Patreon, then you just put in your amount that you want to pledge. What am I doing clicking on the $1 one? I should be like, yeah, so you just go here, and then you do all levels, then you click join here. But cool. I'm going to go and get myself a glass of water, hop onto the Discord, which we need to put the link into the chat for, I believe, so that then even if you're not a patron, you can come onto Discord, and if you're having any trouble with becoming a patron, then we can chat to you and work that out. Discord link. I don't see it. No. Oh, you can't find it. I sent it to you in WhatsApp. Oh, we've got people joining on the. I've muted the Discord at the moment, so YouTube chat blocks them. Okay, I'm going to find the Discord link, and I'm going to put it in the chat now. This link will expire after a little while as well. Audio from the chat. This is me, and there we go. All right, can you see that link? Does that link work? Can someone test that link works? So we've got some people already arriving in Discord. It does work. Dom Knight, thank you very much for testing. All right, well, it has been an enjoyable stream. Yeah, it's really cool hanging out. I'm going to get going immediately on the Patreon stuff. So I've already uploaded this Empire countering or like how to counter side stacks and split stacks video that I made for Empire. So if you're on like the Rue level tier, you can get that immediately. From next week, I will, after the live streams, I will probably take them off YouTube for a week and then upload them a week later. I'll definitely be doing that with the YouTube videos. We are going to decide what the private stream is going to be about when the private stream starts. All right, and we'll just chat to figure out what we want to do for the next however long we want to do it. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the game. I hope you enjoyed mine and Liam's analysis, and I will see you again soon.
Oh yeah. Good. Yes, you're good. Yeah. Oh yeah.